Have you ever tried Assam milk tea? That smooth, silky taste on your tongue might come from India's Assam, a legendary land. It's both a global golden zone of black tea, covered in endless plantations, and a geopolitical powder keg that could ignite at any moment. It's the first major plain entering the northeast and the most influential state, home to nearly 80% of the region's population, making it the true hub of people and resources. For the Northeast's 45.77 million people, everything food, fuel, electricity, industrial goods, even troop deployment and military logistics must pass through the Siliguri Corridor into Assam, then fan out to the other states via its roads, railways, and airports. In other words, if the Siliguri Corridor is cut off or Assam's transport hubs fail, the entire Northeast becomes completely isolated. You'd think a state with such resources and strategic value would be thriving, but Assam is the opposite. Its per capita GDP is only $1,800, far below India's average of $2,700. This is despite being India's powerhouse of premium tea producing and exporting nearly half of the country's output, and also a major oil region, home to refineries like Digboi. But Assam remains stuck in a raw material economy. Tea, oil, and gas are exported without processing. With little local industry or value-added production, most of the wealth ends up in the hands of outside capital and a small elite. Combined with its remote location, weak transport links, low industrialization, and decades of conflict that scare off investment, Assam is trapped in the classic paradox: rich in resources, poor in development. Even more painful than the economic struggle is the fractured sense of identity. First, history. Assam comes from Ahom, the group that ruled this land for centuries and shares ethnic roots with China's Dai people. The British took Assam from Burma in the 19th century and folded it into British India. After independence, it became an Indian state, setting the stage for a cultural gap with mainstream India. Then comes extreme diversity: 23 indigenous tribes plus large Bengali origin communities. Assamese make up about 2/3 of the population, but their culture leans Southeast Asian, and their religion blends local traditions with Hinduism, quite different from the rigid Orthodox Hindu culture of North India. Languages range from Assamese to multiple Tibeto-Burman families. Their East or Southeast Asian appearance, accents, and food habits widen the gap, making their entire identity system feel out of sync with mainstream India, deepening tensions over time. Assamese people strongly believe they are the rightful owners of this land, yet many in North India still see them as not Indian enough. Caught between two very different cultural systems, Assamese people are often labeled, misunderstood, or discriminated against. These tensions have fueled separatist movements. Groups like Alpha remain active, demanding independence or high autonomy, keeping the region's security situation volatile. Meanwhile, India has deployed massive military forces in the northeast, including the 33rd Corps, KRP, and paramilitary units. Under high-pressure security, wrongful killings and arbitrary arrests have occurred, further inflaming tensions. In 2012, clashes between locals and Bengali origin migrants escalated. Thousands of police and troops were deployed, and forces were granted shoot-on-sight authority for curfew violations. Nearly 80 people were killed, over 400,000 displaced, and more than 400 villages burned in less than 2 weeks. When we casually pick up a bottle of Assam milk tea, who would imagine that behind its sweetness lies not only rain and sunlight, but also the locals' grievances, survival pressure, and conflict? We sip smooth sweetness, they taste the bitterness of reality. Only when economic benefits reach locals, cultural differences are respected, and identity is no longer fractured, can this tea-rich land escape and rest and find peace. Only then will Assam's milk tea carry pure sweetness without the heavy sigh behind it.